Last year we met brothers Jack and Josh, who were learning shorthand together. They became rather tired of the very useful but very dry passages in the book, consisting of flat and uninspiring business letters. They decided to send each other shorthand messages, written the exact opposite of how one would write a letter or report, including as many clichés as possible. For a beginner, this would be a real test of how readable the shorthand is, as it is not so easy to worry out a badly written outline unless you are familiar with the idiom and its meaning. Dear Jack, we seem to be at a bit of a standstill with our shorthand, as we have read through the revision book several times now. It's all useful, but some of it is really dull. Why don't we write to each other using the phrases they tell us to avoid? That would be much more interesting, as the individual words don't make sense until you read them all together. After all, we might need to write exact quotes one day, and if we don't learn some of them, life is not going to be a bed of roses. Josh. Dear Josh, what a great idea. Absolutely music to my ears. Yes, that would be a knotty problem, but also a great plan to get ahead of the curve. It would be miserable trying to keep our heads above water, smack dab in the middle of a meeting. So let's turn over a new leaf and get our skills in apple pie order. Getting really good is on my bucket list, but it goes against the grain to practice when I would rather have 40 winks. But let's both fan the flames of enthusiasm and go with the flow, Jack. Dear Jack, I'm glad you agree it's not just a pipe dream. We can't let our shorthand studies descend into hit and miss, and we must not make light of the effort required. We need plenty of old school determination to be up and about at the crack of dawn, fighting tooth and nail to improve. Mark my words, We'll soon be walking on air, and certainly not just treading water. We will never play second fiddle to anyone, and far from my suggestion being famous last words, we are going to be tooting our own horn at last. Josh. Dear Auntie Sheila, it's a while since we wrote, but we are throwing down the gauntlet and hope you can come up with some nippy phrases, like a blast from the past. The shorthand book did exactly what it said on the tin. We bravely took the challenge fair and square, and kept you in the loop with our progress. Sometimes we felt like square pegs in round holes, but we took it on the chin, and we are now both riding high. Our achievement has really knocked our socks off. Or is it just the calm before the storm? Dear Jack and Josh, I don't suppose it matters which of us replies. It's really 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I hope I didn't get the wrong end of the stick. But anyway, I am glad you are following in Auntie Sheila's footsteps. I'm glad you didn't freak out or get into hot water. You dug your heels in and worked through, come rain or shine. You went the extra mile, and now it's all a piece of cake. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you two are always on the ball. Uncle Bill. Dear Jack and Josh, I don't want to rain on your parade or throw a spanner in the works, but I am also sending this as a 120 words a minute sound file. So far, so good. But it's time to get off the fence, raise your game and spice things up. The ball is in your court, and I expect you to throw caution to the wind, bite the bullet, and hang in there to get it all down. You're not really getting into deep water, as I know you boys are full of beans, Auntie Sheila. Dear Uncle Bill and Auntie Sheila, thanks for your replies and for supporting us through thick and thin. We started with our heads in the clouds. Then we felt we had bitten off more than we could chew. But finally we found our feet. Our initial doubts were just a storm in a teacup, and in no time at all we were as right as rain. It seems many moons ago that we started on our shorthand, and we are definitely going to stay on the straight and narrow. Time flies when you're having fun. Love from Jack and Josh.